AITA for blowing up at my husband for selling my bodybuilding gear? I'll keep it short. I, 34F, grew up in an athletic family. My father was an athletic and owned a small gym to work and make a living. I was my parents' only child, and because of our financial hardship and my mom's condition, I did not continue my education and started working retail jobs of all sorts. Not something to be proud of, I know. But I was dealt a shitty hand in life and found comfort and outlet for my anger and frustration by exercising and bodybuilding. I stopped in my mid-20s, but in the past 3 years I started working out and lifting again. I inherited my dad's last bodybuilding equipment, gear, after his business closed due to his illness. And then him passing away. It's all I got of him. It's not much, but I can't begin to describe the amount of strength I get from using my dad's bodybuilding, lifting gear. I feel positive and energetic after every workout session. I'm glad I get to do what I love, which is working out while remembering my dad. So my husband of 4 years has been have issues with employment. In the past few months he got kicked out of his previous job for false accusation of theft and hasn't found a job ever since. His brother's wedding is in few days and he wanted a new suit but couldn't afford it. I was away with my sister on a trip to see mom, who's sick, for a few days, and when I got back I discovered my bodybuilding gear was gone. My husband said he sold it for a decent amount of money we could both share. I blew up at him asking why he touched the gear knowing it's my father's. He said he wanted to buy a suit for the wedding since he had none and thought that I didn't need the gear since he hasn't seen me use it for days, but that was because I was on a trip. We had an argument and he said I overreacted and that once he gets a job he'll buy me better gear. But I told him I don't want it. Just wanted the gear he took. He said we were lucky to get X money by selling it despite being old and asked me to calm down, but I kept lashing out at him. Then we stopped talking altogether. He apologized and said I was making big deal out of it, but I told him he needed to return the money and bring back my gear, which caused us to argue a lot more, and he called me selfish for choosing this to be my hill to die on. Looks like those theft accusations were not unfounded. Your husband has a fondness for other people's belongings. Ensure he gets it back before he spends the money on a wretched suit. NTA. Do you still believe he was falsely accused of theft at his last job? Oh, definitely NTA. Your late father's equipment which you use and get joy from for a suit for a single occasion? No, not okay. You have every right to be angry. He didn't respect your things or your feelings, and didn't ask for your permission to sell it. He can sell his own stuff if he's that hard up. So he was fired for theft accusations. And now he waited until you were out of town to sell your valuable sentimental property, which is theft. I'm seeing a pattern. NTA. He stole your inheritance with sentimental value and sold it. His statement of sharing the money is to disguise his selfish behavior. He sold it because he wants the money for himself to buy a new suit. His apology was crap because he turned around and blamed you again for the fight for saying that you were overreacting. With this, are you really sure that he lost his job from a false accusation of theft? Because he definitely stole from his own wife. NTA. That stuff wasn't something you guys bought together that he turned around and sold and could buy again. It was stuff that was your dad's and reminded you of him. He could have just rented a suit for the wedding or sold stuff that was exclusively his. Like clothes he doesn't wear or equipment he doesn't use. NTA. This is insane. Why would he steal your things that have sentimental value and sell it behind your back? He did it while you were on the trip because he knew you wouldn't let him if you were still there. It was backhanded and deliberate. NTA. He stole from you something that he knew was incredibly important to you. That's a hill to die on. You might want to rethink how false that accusation of theft was at his last job. Because this asshole is clearly a thief. He stole something from you so he could pay for something he wanted. He is never going to buy you new equipment. And when he gets a new job, he is probably going to steal from them too. Will you ever feel safe with him again, knowing that when you turn your back he feels comfortable selling anything of yours he wants to if it gets him something he wants? NTA. NTA. How dare he sell your heirloom for his suit? I wonder if he's also intimidated by you staying in shape. Him telling you to calm down is just the diarrheal sprinkles on the shit cake he's trying to feed you. How sure are you they were false accusations of theft? If he will steal from his family, why wouldn't he steal from his employer? NTA. That man did you dirty. Him needing a suit does not mean he gets to sell anything of yours. He should get your stuff back and sell some of his own items. He definitely should have asked you first, and better yet, the thought to sell the gear that he did not own at all. You are not the you are the victim. He is a thief and now he's gaslighting you. Insist on getting the buyer's name and number and get your stuff back. I expect your husband won't hand it over willingly though. So let me get this straight. He stole and sold your exercise equipment, which was your dad's, for a fancy suit, and justified it by saying you had not used it in a few days. So you obviously were never gonna use it again and were fine with it being sold. And then got mad at you for being mad at him for being an asshole and not considering your feelings? NTA all the way. NTA. Your husband has no right to sell your property without your permission. If he wanted a suit so bad, why couldn't he have borrowed one from a friend or rented one out? He doesn't have anything of value of his own that he could have sold? NTA. He's a thief and now he is stealing from you. NTA. Wow, not only did he sell your property without permission, but he sold the last items you have from your father. He's lucky you don't turn him into your new body bag. You should tell him that either he buys back your equipment or you leave. The arrogance and selfishness in that pathetic excuse for a man is astounding. NTA. There are so many reasons he's in the wrong here. These were deeply sentimental items. They're currently in use in a way that benefits your physical and mental health. And they were yours and he sold them without prior discussion with you. Just one of these reasons would make what he did wrong. This is a hill you should die on. He was way over a bunch of lines here. And all for a suit for himself. I'd also question, given his poor judgment here, what the other person's side of the story is with his false theft accusations. NTA. He stole sentimental items from you because you hadn't used them in days. He stole these items from you, and he wants to split the money with you. The money from selling your stuff. I'll be frank. If my wife did that to me, I'd be getting a divorce. Oh, and false theft charges? He's willing to steal your stuff, sentimental stuff, and sell it. His own wife. I highly doubt those past charges were false.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic AITA is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.